but anything lower than 8, you still have to store 8. So, and then you've got to figure out what the storage is. So that's that.
Hey, ah!
Oh!
Jesus, what? Die! Come on. Okay.
Hey buddies! Welcome back to Chris Any Play. My name is Chris.
I'm Andy.
Today we're playing Sonic the Hedgehog. It's for the Sega Genesis console, and we're talking about whatever we feel like, which just happens to be grinding in RPGs.
Hold on, what were we talking about? We were talking about something else. Does I feel like the RPG got...
Yeah,
oh, we were just talking about Sonic.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, fuck that. I don't want to talk about Sonic.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about this game we're playing.
No, we're...
like, puts me in a bad mood. It reminds me we're playing it. If we just talk about something else to distract me, then I'll be like, oh, talking about things I like.
I did some research. I need to, like, I got, like, some Sonic trivia. We're in, like, episode 3 already. I gotta throw this out here.
Hang on.
All right.
Before you do it,
yes,
because there was a question left over from the RPG discussion that I wanted to finish, I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask, what would you say the hardest RPG you've ever played is?
Oh, I have to think about that.
Yeah, I know what mine is.
Yeah?
Yeah. It is Dragon Warrior 2.
Mm-hmm.
It is the hardest in my opinion because it's insanely unbalanced and just like unfair to the point of just like you can actually get to the max level with every character,
yeah,
and get your ass handed to you by regular enemies in the final dungeon. It is I've never beaten it. It's the only Dragon Warrior I've never beaten, or Dragon Quest I've never beaten. It's the only game that I've just been like, you know what? I don't want to play this anymore. I can't beat it. It's too hard. And like the thing is, the grinding is slow, and the problem is that it introduced, like, it was the first of the series that had, like, multiple characters. Yeah. So that because there's multiple characters and you have a party with multiple people, you're not fighting one enemy, you're fighting, like, multiple enemies. But the enemies are too strong. Like, you'll get into you'll fight, like, 5 enemies at a time, but every one of those enemies has, like, a group hitting attack. But there's no group healing spells. And they're hitting very hard. Yeah. And there's a lot of instant death attacks, and they are very effective against you, but they're not very effective when you do them. Yeah, there's just too many enemies that hit too hard your whole party, and like, so there's like classes, right? You have like the main guy is like the warrior guy, then you have like the warrior healer, and then like the mage who's like offensive and healing. But like, they're the warrior is the only one who actually hits decently hard. Yeah. The middle guy he's a bad fighter and he's a bad caster, but he has some okay spells. And then like the final caster is like, she has some decent like AoE attacks and or group attacks and some decent healing, but still no group healing. So like all your offense against like strong enemies comes from the one guy, and he's like the only character who has a decent amount of health. But they didn't balance the classes. So when Dragon Quest 3 came out, they did the same thing, but you have a party of 4, and they actually balanced it. So like the fighters actually have a lot of health, and there's actually group healing spells, and like I feel like it's very similar but more balanced and therefore like playable. Yeah. I someday I want to go back and finish Dragon Quest 2, but it's just insanely hard. Yeah, I don't know. Like the grinding is not rewarding. It's super slow, and like I even tried playing like a ROM of the SNES port of it. Am I gonna die? Oh, okay, you're good. All right. And it's like it's so much easier, but it's still just it's the same game. They just it's just on SNES, but like it's still like I can't beat it. It's too hard. My brother beat it. I never could. So did that give you enough time to think of yours? Well, the entire time I was trying to pay attention so I didn't sound like an asshole like usual, where I'm like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. So I was paying attention to that, but at the same time I was thinking, why are the spikes moving so slow? And while I did play like a lot of RPGs at the time, I don't consider any of them to be very hard. I think the hardest one aren't? No, they're not. I think the hardest one I did play was, again, like, sound like a broken record, you know what? I'll tell you in just a second. I'm going to pose that question. There's a bit of Sonic trivia here. So if you'd like to know, stick with us. Here's the question. Who do you think the oldest of the playable characters in Sonic is? Oh, outside of Sonic, who was the first character who was the first design character that ended up being playable?
All right, I'll let you think about that for a minute. So, like,
are you going into like Sonic from the beginning all the way to like now?
Yes.
Well, I don't know all the Sonic characters.
I know. I'll tell you, but I want everybody, like, I want people to think about, like, who do you think came and this is somebody who came before Tails. Remember, Tails is the first playable character in 2. Mm-hmm. There's somebody that existed before Tails. So if you think Tails, you're wrong. And I'll come back to that.
And they existed before Sonic?
No. They existed...
Okay. Who was the first playable, like, support character?
Yeah. Well, like,
supporting cast member?
Yeah, I'd say, like, because Sonic was first, and then you get to play Tails eventually, and then you get to play Knuckles, right? So I'm telling you, there's somebody... Ooh, I knocked that a little bit. Sorry about that, guys. There was somebody in this game series that did become playable that existed before Tails, and I'll let you know in a little bit. So
wait, can I guess?
Yeah,
can I guess right
now?
Go
ahead.
Okay, but don't tell me if I'm right. I guess you're gonna save it.
Yeah, I'll save it. Either way.
Am I supposed to go this way?
Sure, I don't want
to. Oh, all right.
Yeah, you can probably.
Pretty good. All right, I'm gonna say it's. I have a feeling it's gonna be something weird.
Yeah.
Like Amy or Big the Cat or Shadow. It's Shadow, isn't it?
No.
Oh, I said don't tell me.
Well, either way, it's. I'm just gonna say it's not Shadow, and that's another bit of trivia I'll leave for later. There's some information about Shadow you may not know. Well, I know you know. I told you.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
When?
A long time ago.
Was I listening?
I don't know. We were in the car.
All right, then I'll go with Big the Cat.
All right.
That's my guess.
So going back to my, like, the hardest RPG I think I've ever played. Oh, that is bullshit. That was garbage.
I was like, oh, I got this. I'll just bounce on until he's dead.
I think broken record time. I think it was Star Ocean 2. Now, again, like I was saying, if you played the PSP remake, it is 3 times easier. But me and my buddy, we played a lot of RPGs back in the PlayStation era when RPGs were kind of hot. They were the big thing at the time. I think 7 kind of did that.
There's no ring.
Oh man, that's rough.
Well, if all he does is pick up blocks, then I don't think he's doing too hard.
Yeah. So when I was playing that, basically, like, it made me grind. Like it was difficult. But like the final boss in that game. Shit. Are you kidding me? You're fucking kidding me, man.
I got him this time. I got his number.
All right, you better.
I'm gonna look for a ring. Here's one.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Can I jump off?
Yeah, why not? Try it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
I'm gonna fight him with invincibility.
Oh yeah, you're cool.
Oh, okay. Now I definitely got him.
So the final boss, he's tough. He was very, very tough.
Oh my god!
And there's a final dungeon in there, and like I said, the level cap in that game goes above 100. Okay, so there's that goes with it. That's difficult. And yeah, you're just wasting your invincibility, eh?
Oh yeah, no.
You're probably gonna die if you go up there. Oh my god, game over.
Platforms, what do they even do?
They're there to just sort of troll you.
They're there to just be like, you're not going anywhere.
I'll tell you what, guys, we'll be right back as soon as Andy's on the bus. And we're back. Oh, good job, Andy.
Yes, I am back.
No! Oh my god. Are we gonna have to... You do so perfectly up until the point where we get to just before the boss, and then you...
Oh, right.
Oh my god. Alright, so... I believe I was talking about Star Ocean being a difficult RPG.
Yeah, and like a hard final boss.
Yeah, well, okay, so the game... Every dungeon in the game forces you to grind. Like, you can be overpowered in the previous dungeon, but you get to the next one, you will not be overpowered anymore. You won't even be, like, adequate. You can't just go dungeon to dungeon and be like, this'll be enough. You have to spend some time beforehand. Like, or, alternatively, you have to just spend, in every area you're going to go to, enough time in there that you would be reasonable with each one. Instead of, like, just going, oh, I'm gonna grind, and now I'm not gonna grind. You know what I mean?
Did the chunks of that hurt me?
Well, you didn't drop rings, so you're fine, I guess.
It didn't hit me. Well, I'm saying, like, I don't know.
I don't think so.
You know what? Yeah. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here.
Shit. So yeah, like, basically, it spends you a lot of time doing things like that, like just the mindless thing. But it's rewarding because, like, it's one of those games where you get a lot of levels, you get a lot of gear. There's crafting for, like, weapons and stuff, and I always love a game where I can craft a weapon because it.
Oh. You know what I love?
God damn it!
When an RPG gives you, like, to be continued. What I love Maybe on the next episode, I guess.
You know what? Yeah, we're gonna have to come back to this in this conversation next time on Chris Any Play. So we will see you there. If you like, leave a like, favorite, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back right after these messages.
What I love in an RPG is when they give you multiple things to raise. Like if you just have levels, it's like it's fine, whatever. But if you up levels, like Final Fantasy 5 had like the jobs, and 6 had the espers, which is like your materia and your magic, and 7 had materia, and 8 had the
draw system.
Yeah, I guess that didn't really have anything. Well, yeah, the GFs. Yeah. That's what you leveled. They had the GF. They had GFs, and 9 had the skill system, and like I love things like that where you're not just grinding experience. There's like more to it. So it's just
absolutely.
So it's like levels aren't necessarily the most important thing. Like there's a lot more to it. You can be low level, but just have that right skill. So like